go.
You guys already know this the main one tapping in all the way from H-Town, Houston, Texas. I'm here with my boy T.A.G.
T.A.G.
T.A.G sucks.
T.A.G, very nice, very evil.
T.A.G's gonna kill.
Yeah, that's T.A.G shit.
Whose house? T.A.G's house, baby.
The only thing we're gonna do is take over, baby.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Free fall as I die through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really.
What it is, what it was, and what it do, T.A.G Nation. Welcome to another episode of T.A.G Me In with your soon-to-be favorite members of the IWC. Who am I? I am the disembodied voice of the one ScooterRay, the gentleman to my right, my best frenemy, the one that I am challenging. That sounds weird coming from my standpoint. The one I am challenging for the technical predictions champion. Give it up for the one and only Lip Dizzle. The gentleman below me, the young OG, the youngest in charge, kicking it with Leo, who will be challenging that beautiful, handsome human being to his right, the reigning, defending tag champ, Jaeger Bombastic, so fantastic, aka the heartthrob in all of this. Gentlemen, how y'all doing and how y'all feeling?
I don't know yet.
I mean, I'm feeling good and bad because it's a long weekend of wrestling ahead of us. But I'm also feeling good because not only one person will ascend the throne at King and Queen of the Ring, but I'm also going to do the exact same thing when I become champion. Yes, Jaeger, count your days because this weekend, that title you hold precious and near and dear will be coming home with yours truly. You're welcome. And that's not a prediction. That is a spoiler.
He's sending shots.
You're gonna invoke the curse of Paul Heyman on yourself, but
and I'm gonna invoke the curse of Danhausen on you. That title is coming home.
Oh no, you was already cursed once.
Infringement. Some copyright infringement. We're gonna have to tell Danhausen about this.
You are cursed.
Ooh, and you did it too. Oh, that's bad. That's bad, bro.
Well, you know, let's go ahead and get into it. So this weekend we have technically 4 pay-per-views, but we're going to cover 3. The first one, of course, is on Saturday. It is Night of Champions coming from Saudi Arabia. And if you watch Monday Night Raw, they already told you the matches that's going to be on quote-unquote free TV with ESPN. And one of the free matches we're going to get to crown the Queen of the Ring, Women's Champion Liv Morgan, going against Io Sky to determine who will be the Queen of the Ring.
I think this match will be good.
I think it's gonna be good.
I think the thing is with this, and I hate to go against Liv because everybody knows I've never been one to bet against Liv, but in any situation, if you guys been a fan, you guys know. But I think Io Sky is going to win this one. And I feel as if Liv, honestly, she shouldn't have been in the tournament to begin with. I think they should have found another opportunity for her. Maybe she could have defended against someone else on Raw, maybe against a Bayley or a Lyra. You could have found an opportunity for her to defend her championship. I think her winning, and I will say this about King and Queen of the Ring for both tournaments, who depending on the winner, if we go with the wrong winner, it will be considered creative malpractice because you have her as a world champion. She does not need this. Now, if she wasn't world champion, I honestly will go into this thinking she probably would win. Just because she is the queen of Saudi Arabia. She wins a lot of her matches in Saudi, which kind of makes it a little bit hard to predict. And also, they kind of hammered home that she's probably going to lose because Liv even said it herself. She has beaten Io Sky time and time again. Io Sky is undefeated. Not where I said that. Liv Morgan is undefeated when it comes to facing Io Sky one-on-one. She beat her numerous times, and I think that's going to come to an end. And also, Liv Morgan has a streak in none other than Saudi. She's only lost one time in Saudi Arabia in her entire career, and that was almost 4 years ago in 2022 in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Ever since then, she has won every single time. And I also think maybe there's going to be two different scenarios that's going to happen. Either Stephanie Vaquer is going to return and she's going to cost Liv this match, setting up a match maybe at Saturday Night Main Event, or none other than SummerSlam, which I think is the more logical one here. But if you paid attention to Raw on Monday, while you were seeing Raquel and Roxanne talking to each other, they were pretty much worried about the Judgment Day asking if JD was fine, if everybody was okay. But when Liv came in, the dynamic shifted altogether because she didn't care about anybody. She only was worried about herself in that scenario, because she said, you see what EO was saying about me? And Raquel easily snapped. She says, I get it. You know, you're going to become, Queen of the Ring. You're going to go on to SummerSlam and become world champion. And then Liv kept downplaying. This is the whole story of the entire tournament. Liv has been downplaying Raquel from the very start. She downplayed her, pretty much saying that she's not going to, pretty much without telling you that she wasn't going to win, that she wasn't going to win. She didn't believe in her. And now she's pretty much showing how she really feels about the Judgment Day. She's not really caring about anybody if it's not benefiting her in the long term, because she literally said, Raquel, you go after the Intercontinental title. She didn't even mention Roxanne at all. She didn't even acknowledge her presence by any means. And I do think one of those two, or even both, I think we are setting up for Liv to be kicked out of Judgment Day, because the whole dynamic has been, everybody has been on the same page. But as soon as Liv Morgan comes around, everything is thrown up in the air, because pretty much she's being selfish. She's been selfish. She only cares about herself and her accomplishments. She's not really in it for the family. And I think she even they alluded to that in a recent interview that she did. And they were talking about like how you were been, not really on the same page with Raquel and Roxanne, and you don't care about them. And she says, how can I turn my back on them when all I've been doing is pushing for their success? That's telling you she's kind of lying to everybody, because when has she ever really helped them win any gold? If anything, she's pretty much costed Raquel numerous times to become world champion. She costed her the Royal Rumble this year. And if you really want to be honest, this could be a full circle moment by having Raquel come out there, either by accidentally or blatantly on purpose. They kick her out of the Judgment Day because Raquel and Roxanne are fed up with her. They're definitely on the verge of snapping because they're fed up. I think the entire Judgment Day is starting to get to the point where they are fed up with Liv Morgan. And I think this is going to lead into SummerSlam. Maybe they turn on her and they end up replacing her with Stephanie Vaquer. I think Stephanie Vaquer could be a potential replacement for Liv Morgan when it comes down to it.
Or we can just, just kill Judgment Day altogether.
I was about to say the same thing. Get rid of the whole.
I was about to say,
I think they would. But the thing is,
I think the course is ran.
The course is definitely ran, but I feel like Triple H, he's gonna use this as one of those Bullet Club flags. Where it's gonna be so many different iterations come for years to come. I think that's one of those few matches where I just don't think he's gonna retire. Maybe it's like over time, more members will join, and people. It's like, think about this as like a school thing, right? Where people come in, they graduate, and then more people come in. I think that's kind of how he's treating it. Once people kind of graduate and become, bigger than the group, I think he pushes them. They dip, and they bring in other people who could probably use the group to kind of get some opportunities to kind of build their credibility. And that's kind of what it was from the get-go up until this point. Yeah. So I think maybe they want to continue that thing going, but I think Liv, honestly, for me personally, should be the next one on the out. And I think after she loses that world championship, move her over to SmackDown. I think you move her over to SmackDown, and maybe she can have a fresh start there. But I'm gonna go Io Sky to win this, and I think she will go on to compete against Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam, concerning that story that's still there between those two. Rhea has never defeated Io Sky. She can challenge her. It could be very friendly competition. Rhea can finally get the upper hand and finally get her win there. And then maybe Io Sky maybe comes back to Raw. Maybe with this new Lyra Valkyria that we do have, maybe Lyra gets the IC title at some point. We could do maybe Lyra and Io potentially for the Intercontinental Championship.
So let me ask you this, Dizzle, right quick. And I guess it could tie more into the next match as well. Now, considering how long we've been watching wrestling and we knew what this tournament meant and this, that, and the third, do you feel at this point they should keep the king and queen of the ring idea, or do they should just kind of retool it into something else?
No, it's just like I said, 3 weeks ago? Give it to NXT. NXT needs to go ahead and needs to have King of the Ring instead. Main roster with NXT, with King of the Ring doesn't make any sense anymore, and the way that they're doing it is trash. I think if you put it in NXT, you don't lose the essence. There's no way that you can lose out on it, because the thing is right now, in the past few years that they've done King of the Ring, the problem is that they fast tracked it every single time, and it hasn't made any new stars. They've basically taken the same people that's been there and just uplifted them. And anybody that they did pull the trigger on, you can think Baron Corbin, you could think Xavier Woods, hell, even Cesaro was King of the Ring before, wasn't he?
No, he's never been King of the Ring.
Okay,
Sheamus. You got to think about Sheamus.
Yeah,
Wade
Sheamus we've been thinking about. Oh, Wade Barrett. Okay, perfect. So yeah, with all of these guys, it's like you've done necessarily nothing with them outside of maybe Sheamus. But anybody else that has won King of the Ring, it's just been a prop. So
Nakamura.
Booker T.
No, Booker T was they
Booker
did
T's
something
probably
after that.
top 3 in my personal opinion. Like, come on now.
That's right, King of the Ring winners just running with that gimmick. Yeah,
but
because it worked.
Sure did.
But if they're gonna do it this way, they just need to go ahead and just give it, because the thing is, like I said the last time, I said, if main roster is gonna take War Games and they're doing everything with that, go ahead and give King of the Ring to NXT. Let them do with it what they will, and make, because thing is, NXT actually does care about their championships. So if that's the way to build it up.
I'm still waiting to see how long it's going to take for WWE side to take the Iron Survivor match.
We don't even have Iron Survivor in 2K, so I don't think we're getting it on the main roster right now. But like, Liv doesn't got a point. Night of Champions, I feel like they did something different in the sense of moving Money in the Bank later in the year, because it kind of, you had too many gimmick pay-per-views back to back, so it kind of took away from the other. Because people didn't really care about Night of Champions, because Money in the Bank is the next month, so let's build to that. So now that you have that pay-per-view being later down the line, you can actually focus on what you have in King and Queen of the Ring. However, you made a great point. They have been only using it to establish the already established talent and building up their credibility, instead of it having this be the eye towards the future, which it should be. When you look at these gimmick pay-per-views like Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, it should be not just about the established stars, but actually used to benefit the newer talent that's coming up. People like Trick Williams, people like Obafemi, people like Javon, who should be showcased in matches like these and even being in the finals. That's why I said Javon should have won over Jey Uso, because then at least the finals would have been showcased. Okay, this is giving us, the fans, a preview of what the future of the WWE can be. Showing your two biggest talents that you got right now on the up and up, who are building up their stock, and you're putting them in a high-profile match and putting them in the deep and seeing if they can sink or swim. But the thing is, they don't do that. They choose to play it safe, and that's one of the problems with WWE nowadays. They choose to play it safe. When they have an opportunity to go against the grain and go with something different, they choose not to. And that kind of goes back to the Jey Uso aspect when they won the Royal Rumble. I think because the fans revolted in the grand scheme of things after he won the World Championship, I think WWE's come to the point where they're scared to make new stars. But now, not only that, are they scared to make new stars, but they only get to choose when and where they want to pull the trigger on certain moments and where stars could be made. Because let's be fair, if they really had an eye towards the future, or even if they wanted to use established stars, at least use the established stars that we know don't really get the opportunities as much as like your Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes and stuff like that. If you would have done that and had like an LA Knight in a position like this, or Finn Balor in this position, I think the fans would overall probably had a bigger and a better reception to this, because like, okay, These are two guys who are established names, but still have not gotten that just due yet. Finn Balor's been,
you know what they should have done?
Fair, that LA Knight and Finn Balor ship has been gone.
And that's part of the problem. And I think if they are going to keep it on the main roster, what they need to do is do what they did a long time ago. When it was a turn, I don't know if it was King of the Ring before, or if it was a tournament that they did a long time ago, but it was one where they said no previous champions allowed in this tournament.
I remember that. It was just a tournament to the I forgot what was it to the tournament, but yeah, I do remember that that tournament. Yeah.
I think if you're gonna do King of the Ring, I think you need to have no previous winners of the King of the Ring and no previous world champions. It needs to be just all up and coming stars or people that haven't got the rub yet, like Finn's been champion, but not a real champion. He's been,
I would say Finn Balor probably makes an exception because he didn't have a reign with it, but
true, exactly. Him in LA Knight, Chad fucking Gable.
Yes. Dominic Mysterio, put him in there.
Yeah, but these guys like this, that would be the way to go. That way you put yourself, you box yourself into having to not rely on already established stars like they're doing now, because again, they had the rumor with, you know, Seth Rollins potentially being the winner of the King of the Ring, so him and Roman can go at it. And it's like there shouldn't be rumors like that at all. Now, this shit,
just like the other side. Now, this is the other free match.
I'm telling you,
this is the other free match that's going to be on ESPN as well. You're going to have Obafemi, Jey Uso, and Jey Uso had already told everybody, and due to Roman's influence, that if Jey Uso wins, he's challenging Cody Rhodes. And Oba is like, Roman, I'm coming after you, sucker. I'm not gonna say the rest of it. But
no, do it, Booker.
Here's the thing with
Roman, we're coming for you, nigga.
There you go.
Here's the thing about this match. Jey Uso said something where he said on Raw, nobody believes in him, but Jey also says he's been against all the odds time and time again, and which may be true. But Oba said something too. You're the Samoan I'm not worried about. He's looking past Jey Uso, and I think the win in this for Jey Uso is really pretty much showing Obafemi that he's not going to be an easy task that he's just going to squash and get past and go on to the next. No, he's going to have to work for this moment, right? And I think both King and Queen of the Ring will be very shenanigan heavy. This one right here, you got the X factor of Brock Lesnar, because Obafemi has time and time again brought up Brock Lesnar's name over and over and over. And he even said a couple weeks ago, he even made it sound like he wasn't really worried about winning the King of the Ring. Like his whole purpose and it's the head of Brock Lesnar. So it's like he wasn't really worried about the world championship. But at the very same time, this will be an amazing opportunity for WWE to strap the rocket on Obafemi and make him one of the biggest stars in the entire company. If you have him not only win this King of the Ring match, go on to SummerSlam, have a match with Roman, maybe Brock comes out and the whole thing that happens, Brock tries to get involved, but it backfires and Oba still wins. You can set up Oba Brock maybe night 1. Oba has to put his spot on the line for night 2. Oba beats Brock. Brock retires. He goes on to night 2 and beats Roman. Imagine the headlines if he beat two of the biggest names in WWE. He beat Brock on night 1 and beat Roman on night 2. That is going to literally send the wrestling world into a frenzy. In a good way, of course. But knowing WWE, and I think they have conditioned us to know, they're probably not going to give it to Oba. And that's the sad part about it.
Nowhere close.
And I even said, bro, if
you said Brock Lesnar like fucking Beetlejuice,
if Javon was in this, I would have been fine. If Javon was in this, I would have been a little bit more happy because I would have been fine with either man winning. But nope. We had to give it to a 40-year-old wannabe walking Roman Reigns.
Damn.
Oof.
Damn.
probably going down as probably one of the worst world champions I've seen in my entire life. I've been watching wrestling since 03.
Well,
I've been watching wrestling since 03, and I've seen some very, very bad world champions.
I wouldn't say Jey Uso.
I feel like Jey Uso might take the cake. And I've seen people win the world championship. I seen Vince Russo win the WCW World Championship. I seen David Arquette win the WCW World Championship.
That was a bad champion.
I seen Jack Swagger win the World Championship. At least Jack Swagger wasn't an entrance merchant. At least he had some decent matches. The fact that you got carried in this tournament by Javon Evans, who is only 22. You're telling me a 22-year-old carried you to relevant entire career? Because the fact is, you haven't been relevant since 2023, mind you. You're one shot at glory. You got humbled by your daddy, Roman Reigns. And this time, you're going to get humbled by your daddy again, because I'm going to go with Oba Femi to win this. I don't care who gets involved. Oba Femi should be winning this match. Jey Uso winning will literally be creative malpractice to have Jey win. And especially when you have so much story going on right now with Cody's title right now. You have Gunther in the mix. You have Sammy in the mix. You have CM Punk potentially coming back and facing Cody. You have Randy Orton. You have so much story right there. Why would we push all that back for a wannabe 40-year-old Roman Reigns? I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to see that.
40-year-old Roman Reigns.
And the thing is, knowing WWE, they've proven to us time and time again, they're not afraid to put Jey Uso in these positions, even though the fans don't want it. They did it with him winning that Battle Royal to become number one contender to face Punk for the World Championship. They had him tap out Gunther at WrestleMania. They had him beat Javon Evans, an up-and-comer. Like, what are we talking about? And do you not realize the outrage IWC will be in if Jey Uso pinned Oba Femi?
They are not going to care.
Hey,
they're not going to care.
On top of that,
you know what? I will agree with you that there will be outrage if Jey Uso pins Oba Femi clean. And there's your asterisk. Because Brock Lesnar has been mentioned like fucking Biggie Smalls in South Park. Like, he's going to show up. Because like Scoot said last week, the man is not going to miss a free flight to fucking Saudi Arabia.
And it's in the first hour on ESPN, so you know they're going to want to make that a big deal.
This is probably going to be the opening match.
So what would really piss me off is, like you said, if they have him pin Oba Femi and then go on to SummerSlam and beat Cody Rhodes to become WWE champion.
Now that part's probably not happening.
But this is WWE talking about. You know they love them some Jey Uso, despite what we say. Because if it was up to me,
hey, I don't have beef with Jey Uso like that.
You know who should have been in this spot? Three guys. You could have made a case for three guys being in this spot. Javon Evans, Finn Balor, LA Knight. Anyone else?
This is the thing, right?
Options. First off, the fact is, if you would have gave it to Finn Balor in this spot, this would have made 10 years to the very day he debuted on Monday Night Raw in 2016. 10 years later, he wins King of the Ring to face for the WWE Championship, the title that he never lost. He never got back.
If they wasn't willing to give Finn that title when he went against Punk in Ireland, then it ain't happening now. Like I said, that Finn Balor ship is gone.
Wait, I wouldn't say that, because they did the same thing with McIntyre, and then he ended up getting the title later on. But at the same time, this is Finn Balor we're talking about, so I understand.
Finn Balor ship is gone,
dude. Finn Balor was so much bigger in Japan than what he is now, and
I think the thing is,
let's localize it. He was so much bigger in NXT than what he is now.
That is true.
Twice over.
Maybe, I think he has a refresh though, being on SmackDown. I guess.
Nope.
The reason why I say that is because the reason why I say that, is it a high possibility he wins the world championship on SmackDown? Probably not. But I think the chance is better on SmackDown than it is on Raw, because when you think of Raw, you have Braun Breaker over there, you have Roman Reigns, you got Seth Rollins, you have all those big names over there. But when you go to SmackDown, it's a little bit lacking. You have You have Randy Orton's not there for the time being. Drew McIntyre's not there for the time being. CM Punk's not there just yet. All you have is Cody, Sammy, and Gunther. You can insert somebody that can actually go and compete at a high level. That's the thing with Finn Balor. People seem to forget. This guy is still one of the very best in ring. He has everything you need to be a top star. Charisma, a connection with the crowd, can sell merch, can go in the ring, has a presence. He has aura. He has everything you need, and he's still competing at a high level, being in his 40s. Seriously, and you're telling me you can't put him and Cody Rhodes in a match for the WWE Championship?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you all of that.
Go ahead.
All of that about Finn Balor you just said, just for him to lose to Trick Williams for the United States Championship.
Now I think Gunther's going after that.
Now I agree. I agree with Leo. But here's the thing. That plan for Finn has a shelf life. That's the only issue with this. And that shelf life ends at the end of 2027. If they don't do anything with him post Mania next year, that it's almost guaranteed a wrap, because there's nothing that you're going to do with him if you're not building him up between now and Mania for anything important. Post Mania next year, if nothing prominent is going on, even if they were to do something in 2028, it's going to be all for naught. And that's the problem. It's going to be one of those things a little too late for him, and he's basically going to end up being another fucking Cesaro, unfortunately.
Because I think his contract ends in 2029,
Does
I believe. Yeah, because I think he signed a contract in 2024 that's like a 5-year deal.
Now, if that's the case, and I hate this being the case when it comes to WWE guys going to AEW, which, I mean, he also could go back to Japan, but
I'm sorry, you hate this?
Hey, I'm gonna have a hot take when we talk about Forbidden Door, because I thought about it after watching Dynamite last night. Yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Because I hate the talking point of having WWE guys in their contract and they go to AEW. That I hate that talking point. I don't hate the fact that they're going over there. I just hate that being the default. So and so
okay.
now, and Leo, you're right. It does go through 2029. So he would do good, perfectly fine, but I would want him to not have his time wasted in WWE. So I would want them, the same thing with Chad Gable. I would want them to do something with these guys while they have them in their prime, because and I'll get into it later, but it's like the same thing that Paul Heyman said on Chris Van Vliet's show. Go watch it, people. It's a good interview.
I did watch it.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't like the woulda, coulda, shouldas, because why do you have these world-class professional wrestlers in your company and you're not doing anything with them, just to have the same rinse and repeat with the Cody Rhodes, with the Roman, with the Brock, with the Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins has an asterisk because he actually is there, but
it's because they don't want them to do well in other places.
So
before we start,
they made that very clear with their contract fucking shit that they or their modified contract.
At this rate, if you really
before
we send them to AAA.
Hold on. Before we speed run the rest of this card, you have to realize something. LA Knight is 43 and Finn Balor is 44. It ain't that, like you said, that shelf life is shelf lifing.
Yeah, 100%.
Really quickly. So, like I said, in my personal opinion, I've always had love for Finn. That ship, I think, has sailed. I think Finn is a good person to watch. He's still entertaining. I still look at him in that same regard as I looked at him when he first walked through them doors at NXT. But we see how the main roster, thank you, Loki. We see how the main roster has treated people who were badass, and look how they turn out. So And the other glaring issue that WWE tends to do, they also have the shiny new toy issue. So while we're talking about these people, there are still, I mean, granted, the NXT stars are not as big as they were, like a Trick, Javon, and Ova, but there's still going to be NXT people who are going to eventually move up. And while we're trying to cape and fight for some of these other superstars, if they're looking at the new NXT people as these shiny new toys, you're not about to care about some of these people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just the nature of it, unfortunately.
This is why I'm pro come 2029. We see Prince Devitt in AEW going up against the rest of, like, jumping in with the rest of his Bullet Club brethren.
Well, they are. They are kind of teasing out.
That's also in 3 years. We gotta hope Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are still,
because yes,
in 3 years.
Kenny Omega and the Bucks are like in their later 30s now, if not early 40s. I don't know. You know what? Here, I got my computer on.
I'm about to say, I got you.
Teasing that and on SmackDown currently, because on his first night, they teased the interaction between him and Tama Tonga. Maybe they are gonna form like some type of club where maybe, I don't know if it's gonna be a face faction or
no. Kenny's 42.
I said Kenny's 42. Matt Jackson is 41, and Nick Jackson.
I think Nick is like 39.
36.
36. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll hope, but let's go.
What was that you were saying about Tama Tonga with Finn Balor?
Him and Tama had a little interaction. Yeah.
They might start like a Bullet Club faction on SmackDown, because if they're gonna get rid of MNT, which looks like that's gonna be the case sooner rather than later. Yeah. So maybe they want a new faction to kind of take over. Maybe you could have like a Bullet Club type faction to run shot over SmackDown.
They already tried that. What did they call themselves? The OC or the Club?
Yep.
That was kind of with AJ though, but
yeah, but you can revive that. You can revive that with Finn Balor.
Wait. There was a version of the OC when it was Finn Balor with Gallows and Anderson.
But that was kind of short-lived, though. It was just like...
It was, but I mean, it still happened.
It still had happened, but it was like for a cup of coffee. I don't know. Maybe... I don't know.
We'll see. Hold on.
No, I like that. Closing, I like that for a cup of coffee.
We'll see. In closing, before we move on to the next match. Yes. The way I look at it is, once again, with WWE, a lot of times with WWE, they're going to give you one good time to knock it out the park. And the problem is, they gave Finn Balor two, in essence. Unfortunately, the first time, he got hurt. When he came back, he kind of meandered around. They paired him up with Gallows and Anderson. It didn't hit like it hit with AJ and Gallows and Anderson. Then the next time around, they was like, all right, Finn, we're going to pair you up with the Judgment Day.
And it kind of
Judgment Day was working. No, it kind of worked. But once again, look who came out to be the stars of the Judgment Day. Dominic Mysterio, Rhea Ripley, and now Liv Morgan. Yeah, Damian Priest had a world title run, but Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley were the ones who...
Damian Priest is also like in his 40s.
And Dominic Mysterio. Them three...
Like older.
Yeah, Damian Priest like 42, 43. But once again, them were the main three. So the thing is, if you look at WWE as a whole, once again, to kind of circle back to what you said, Leo, this is why Jey Uso keeps getting the opportunities. Whether we love him or hate him, when they hand him the ball, as long as everybody in that crowd is still yeeting along with that man, then they're gonna look at it as, oh, he's still good. As long as the crowd is still telling him to run it back, oh, he's still good. Regardless of his moveset, regardless of his cardio, regardless of his promo, none of that matters if everybody in that arena, as soon as that man's music hits, they yeeting the light along with him.
Because TKO don't care about wrestling. They care about
why
they still throw.
That is one of the reasons why
Finn comes out though, so it's like.
So, I mean, no, they do. I mean, because once again, Finn just has a core fan base. Think about what Oba. Oba, you got to think, if everybody turned their back on Oba when he lost to Brock. Thank God it didn't happen. Oba wouldn't be in the situation he's in now. But due to the fact is, when that music hits, they still Oba. So they're going to keep giving that man opportunities. That's what. And see, now it kind of goes off of what Karrion Kross was saying in the interview. He feels Triple H's hands are tied with some things. So if he feels, and this was a man who technically he has nothing to lose or gain by speaking the truth about WWE. So if he feels that Hunter's hands are tied, then at this point in time, we don't know what to expect from this era of WWE until it happens. Because at any given moment, this shit can change. So speaking of shit changing, last time these two gentlemen was having a fight, it was supposed to be the last fight. Obviously, that was a lie, because guess what? They have nothing else. So guess what we get? Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, this time in a steel cage.
The lie detector. That was a lie.
Yay. Now,
Seth Rollins loves him some steel cage matches.
He's 4-0.
Right?
He's 4-0.
Now, in case you are wondering, Braun Breaker looks like he's missing something. Yes, he is, because this past Monday, due to the interference of Seth Rollins, and we do have new tag team champions in the Street Profits. So that is why Braun Breaker is missing some hardware in that image. But yes, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, steel cage match. Also, that's going down at Night of Champions for the Women's United States Championship. Tiffany Stratton is defending against Jade Cargill.
I'm gonna say Jade probably might win, only because I could see them want to give it to Jade, only because they want to do Jade Charlotte maybe at SummerSlam, and this can help gain more prestige behind the U.S. title and getting it propelled to like that next level, considering the star power that you do have involved. But I could see Tiffany regaining it, because you still have people like a Blake Monroe coming up. You have JC Jane, maybe a Jordan Grace. So you even probably have like
Grace,
Kiana James, like those are 4 women right
That's
there.
a good question.
Go after.
You
can go after. She's been on main event. She just had a match against Julia like last week.
Oh, man, TKO does not love muscular women.
Hey, I'm gonna say this.
Rhea Ripley.
I'm gonna say this.
Rhea Ripley's even slimmed down.
That is true. I'm gonna say this in the most endearing way possible. They ain't gonna have that white girl lose twice to Jade.
I was about to
say
that.
They're 1-1.
Yeah.
They are 1-1.
No.
Also,
they are 1-1, but they ain't gonna have Jade beat Tiffany again for a championship.
Yeah. Also, Saudis love white women.
They love
that. Is also true. That is also true. So I would be highly shocked if Tiffany Stratton loses to Jade Cargill for that United States Championship.
It would give it prestige, though. It would give it prestige, though, if you do give Jade the title and you do Jade Charlotte for the U.S. Championship. That's a really big deal, and that adds another layer to their feud that they're already building. And if Charlotte does get it, that's another accolade that she can add to her illustrious career already. And she can probably do some amazing work with that U.S. Championship, because as a babyface, she's killing it right now. And you can even have that be a long-term feud for the U.S. Championship going into next year's Mania, because it's going to be in Saudi. Alexa, Charlotte for the U.S. title. Why wouldn't you do that? Maybe you can do a multi-woman match with other people being involved. You can have a Jade in there. You can have Tiffany. You can have Kiana. You can have JC. You can have Blake. You can have Chelsea. You can do it like a 7-8 woman ladder match if you really wanted to for the U.S. Championship.
So this kind of goes back to what I just said. As good as that sounds, Leo, we don't even know what July looks like for WWE.
Nah.
Let alone we trying to book for next April.
I mean, not only that, but we got to understand this. One, you have a mid-card title for the women on SmackDown that has an abundance of competitors that they're actually integrating and at the same time not using. And then you also have Raw with the Intercontinental Championship for the women. That is, yeah. So
Exactly.
the problem here is a multi-tiered situation, because it's like, okay, cool. If you take the title off of Tiff, what do you do with her? Because you just downgraded her to this belt, and I don't mean downgrade in a derogatory sense from the women's champ to the U.S. champ, because it's still a prestigious title in its own right. But putting Jade there after she just lost to Rhea twice, and then her getting her own faction, it's just like, okay, so it's a lose-lose situation for both. And then to take Charlotte and throw her in the mix is just like, again, I could see that, but it's like, it's a domino effect of bad, because the only thing that you should be able to do at this point is move these women around to where it evens out the playing field on both Raw and SmackDown for these mid-card titles, because Kiana James isn't being used. Julia lost the championship, and now she's been downgraded to fucking, and I mean downgraded to main event, when she should be a prominent figure at this point on Raw.
Yeah.
And then Chelsea Green, but again, more and more and more, and still nothing. So this is a stupid fucking match. It's a stupid match.
It really is. But hopefully they can make this.
They want to see a white woman win against
been
Jade Cargill.
I'm just hoping.
There you go.
Like,
Jaeger said the point. Jaeger said the point. And that's what it really.
White woman win. That's it.
That's what it is. This is a truly
they love them some
request.
Charlotte. They love them some Tiffy. They love them all that shit.
But like I said, they do have 4 other opponents that you can build up. When Blake Monroe gets there, you have her. You have JC James. You do have Kiana James after this feud with Julia, and then you have other people that maybe Jordan Grace, if they actually finally do something with her and they turn her heel, she can be a dominant threat to her as well. So why wouldn't you do that? You could probably have Jason most logical right now, and then give the tag titles to Fatal Influence, all 3 of them holding gold. Why wouldn't you? I think that's probably like the safest bet right now.
So who would it be an easier sell? Having a muscle mommy that is Jade Cargill losing to a member of Fatal Influence, or Tiffany Stratton losing to Fatal Influence?
Tiffany Stratton.
Anybody losing Fatal Influence. Anybody losing Fatal Influence. Fatal Influence used to be. Matter of fact, put Fatal Influence on Raw. That's what you do. Put Fatal Influence on Raw.
But
if we're talking about SmackDown title, that is a U.S. title for the women. It'll be an easier sell to have Tiffy lose to any member of Fatal Influence versus Jade Cargill.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it would only be JC Jane for that.
I was like,
It'll be an easier sell for. I said any member, but yes, in this case, JC Jane. It'll be an easier sell for Tiffany Stratton to be losing to her instead of Jade Cargill.
But they are telling a story with none other than Tiffany and Chelsea. I don't know where that's leading to. It seems like a little bit Tiffany has been showing a little bit more of heel tendencies here and there. I don't know if this is like leading to Tiffany turning back to being a heel and Chelsea going to be.
I could see her going heel in Saudi.
Tiffany ain't trying to be out white girls by Chelsea. That's all.
I think they're gonna make her just a cleaner. She's gonna be just a loner in this situation and just talk shit about everybody.
Yeah, but we'll see. I feel like Chelsea.
I need to see
but
Jade
Blake
with
Monroe
more
might be the person. Blake Monroe, she's been calling out everybody, so I think Blake Monroe might be the person that they might try to go with. I think she might be a huge star. To be fair,
I think so too.
Blake Monroe,
yeah, Blake, yeah.
And for our next match, big congratulations go out to Trick Williams and Lash Legend, who got married in Jamaica earlier in the week. So to celebrate, he gonna put on his lemon pepper steppers and defend that U.S. championship against Dick Satanis, as Dizzle likes to call him. Dick Satanis at Night of Champions. So now this is a rare moment where we actually get heel versus heel. A very rare moment.
Technically, He's a
It's
tweener,
heel
but he's
ver-
more face.
This is heel versus heel. It's just the fact that we love Trick Williams, but this is heel versus heel. It's just that one
keep this one
heel
short
is
and sweet.
loved.
Let's keep this short and sweet. I think this should have been triple threat. That's first off. But I do think this would be a great opportunity for Ricky Saints to really showcase what he can really do. But Trick Williams is retaining, and I'm hoping the story continues and they finally make the right decision at Carmelo Hayes and they do a triple threat at SummerSlam. So Trick Williams retains.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say it like this, and this can spread to just about any other match that involves this this scenario. WWE does not care, and like we saw for Finn Balor, for people that come from or that made it big in other promotions that come to theirs. Now
And
they gave love to
We
Ricky
keep using
Saints.
the wrong name for Finn, by the way.
Yeah, because I'm about to say
Prince
AJ did
Devitt?
the same thing.
No,
AJ did
no,
the same thing.
no. No, his street name is Penn Balor at the moment.
Excuse me, he hasn't taken
Mean.
pins lately. He hasn't taken pins lately, so we're not gonna do that. That's first and foremost.
It's only a matter of time.
We're not doing
I
that.
told you, I have as much love for Finn Balor. It's only a matter of time.
First off, we're
It's
not
only
gonna
a
do
matter
that.
of time.
It's like if you use the wrong person, because didn't they strap the rocket to Finn Balor when he got to the main roster? He beat Roman and Seth in the first month. So
Yeah,
we're not
and then
gonna do that.
Seth got him
Hey,
injured,
hey.
and then look what
And then
happened.
AJ,
Hey,
we
hey.
can't even
Like
say
you said
AJ
earlier, that was 10 years ago.
AJ came in and he won the world championship in his first year, so we can't say WWE doesn't value people who come from other companies. AJ was in New Japan and he came over to
No.
WWE.
AJ is an exception.
AJ,
AJ,
yes, he's
AJ Styles
he's
is an
not the
exception.
norm.
That was an exception.
He is
This guy's
the
been a Grand
exception.
Slam champion.
That's what I'm saying.
I was saying,
He
AJ is
is
an
the
exception.
exception, not the norm.
They wasn't going to. They is no way they wasn't going to land a AJ Styles and not treat AJ Styles like AJ Styles. That would have been just
There's
the
no-
biggest
Also, he
crime.
made it big in TNA before he went to New Japan.
That's also true too.
I'll tell you the issue with Finn Balor and where they went wrong, because and this is more of them not caring about Finn, and this is the issue. When he had his second run in NXT and he went back as the Prince,
Perfect.
Yep.
the
It was
problem
beautiful.
was they were supposed to pivot from that and then have that done to the main roster, because that was a complete rebrand that they could have ran with. It was
Yes.
give me. The problem was they didn't continue to run with that, because had they done that, it would have been a more serious Finn that would have catered more to what they were doing at the time on Raw and SmackDown. The problem was they didn't do that. And because I think at that time they were running with Bobby during that point in the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the main issue. They just didn't care enough to continue. And I think at the same time, that was when they were really just treating any NXT call up as a fucking scrub. So Finn fell in that same bucket. And that was the issue. He basically got the Dolph Ziggler effect.
And
to
then
be
it's like
perfect.
when he joined Judgment Day, I thought it
Damn
would've been-
near fucking.
on paper when he joined Judgment Day and turned heel, you would have thought like it would have been, his opportunity to really go to the next level, and it looked like as if that was gonna be the case, because you see how the discourse online, even in the crowd, people were pro Finn Balor during that run in 2023 against Seth, when he had the whole thing where it's like, it's been 7 years since me and you faced, 7 years since you injured me and I never became world champion. You could have pulled the trigger at SummerSlam, but what happened? They didn't.
In Balor.
No, but now you see it. And now this is why this is to Scoot's point. At that point with Judgment Day, that was their very last chance to pull the trigger on Finn without there being any negatives that happen. Now, if they do put the strap on Finn, or they do put the rocket strap on Finn, they have to do it without being able to make any mistakes. He can't mess up one bit. There can't be any issues at this point, because the moment that they sense any kind of recourse on it, they're going to take that away from him, and he's going to go into the trash bin immediately. It's the same thing as with Jey Uso. Jey Uso only has the fucking entrance that he has. He has the yeet shit and then Roman. And that's the only thing that's keeping him afloat. If he didn't have any of that, they wouldn't give a shit about Jey right now.
Because I'm gonna tell you who has constantly been the biggest star on both shows and has nothing to show for it?
LA Knight.
Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa has been secretly the MVP for the past like year and some change, and nothing to show for it.
You know what else you can't? You know what else he doesn't have to show for it? A WrestleMania match, because the guy hasn't even competed on a WrestleMania.
Wait,
he never competed on WrestleMania because remember, WrestleMania 39, he helped Roman win. He didn't have a match. WrestleMania 40, he didn't have a match. WrestleMania 41, he didn't have a match. WrestleMania 42, he didn't have a match.
Yep.
No match.
Get out of here.
He's never competed on Mania.
To the point that Scoot was just making.
He's never competed on a Mania card.
So the man who's been constantly a secret MVP can't get shit, and we think Finn Balor is about to just magically rise out the ranks.
Commodity. The guy can work.
He's got a point.
He is a proven commodity.
Well, wait.
For
I
a
will say
background
this.
actor.
To kind of refute Leo's point, because I always go back to that match that Solo had with Gunther, and that match was fan-fucking-tastic. And I hate the fact that they can have that kind of match and you don't push Solo the same way that you would push Gunther for them to have that type of match that they would have. I do hate that. I do.
Yeah,
they're pushing Jacob Fatu past.
And he won the U.S. Championship, didn't he?
Thank you, Jaeger. Thank you.
He did. Yeah, he did.
And I think people were like,
thank you, Scoot, for acknowledging
they
that.
They pushed Jacob Fatu past Solo. They pushed everybody. Sound like LA Knight has been getting better results than Solo Sikoa, and that man has secretly been the MVP for like the last 2 years.
Yeah. But the thing is, and people were even like, what was it, this time last year, people were really pushing for this guy to win the Money in the Bank last year. People really were. And going into it, I'm like, well, they haven't really booked it to that point, but if they were to do it, I wouldn't hate it. But then again, it's like, we already knew the story that they were trying to do, which was him and none other than...
Just to prove my point, your main event is this. This has been a clusterfuck of a storyline. It's the inception. You have the undisputed WWE champion Cody Raheem Rhodes defending against Gunther and Sami Zayn, and this has been a clusterfuck for the last 3 months. So you telling me the way that they've been booking this, you think LA Knight and Finn Balor are about to be superstars?
You know who winning this, right?
Cody.
Gunther.
What?
I'm gonna say something that's.
I think Gunther's gonna win it.
I'm going with the typical multi-man match championship. But if it is Gunther, I'm not surprised.
There is somebody I think probably. I think here's what I would say this. Who I think should win this. Sami Zayn. I think Sami should win.
He's overdue. He's overdue. Agreed.
My pick is Sami Zayn for this match because he's already been the odd man out. And the second thing is his whole thing is getting the WWE Championship. It's main eventing. I can see something happening where he's pretty much being more opportunistic in these scenarios. He's picking his spot a lot more wisely, and he's not afraid to do what's necessary to get wins now.
Leo,
and he doesn't have to have a long run. He can literally lose it at SummerSlam, and he can do whatever else.
Leo. Did you not realize you just booked the match you did not want? Because if Jey Uso wins that King of the Ring and Sami Zayn wins that championship, who's going to fight at SummerSlam? Jey Uso and Sami Zayn.
But I said Oba Femi's
winning. He said Oba's winning.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jey Uso was winning that King of the Ring.
Yeah,
there you go.
I kind of think Oba's winning. But at the same time,
Jey Uso is winning that only because of Brock Lesnar.
The only thing I will say about Jey Uso, he has a story with all three of these men right here. He does. Because if you think about it, him and Gunther had the match at WrestleMania 41. Him and Cody were former tag team champions. He might want to face him for the WWE Championship. And him and Sammy have history from the bloodline. So all three of these guys do have a story with Jey Uso that they could.
And that's why Jey Uso gonna win.
No, he's
Exactly.
no. Two words. Creative malpractice. Creative malpractice.
Well,
Creative
go ahead and get the
malfunction. No.
Go ahead and get the paperwork ready, big dog, because it's going down.
Yeah,
Jey Uso is taking on one of them three at SummerSlam.
I'm telling you this right now. If Jey Uso wins this, I need Demon Finn to come back, and I need him to handle business. Demon Finn, I need to call you up. Bring up the demon. Go handle business.
Bro, here, let me tell you something.
You do realize Demon Finn Balor is 1-2 in his last 3 matches.
Yes, exactly the fucking point. Demon Finn Balor is a lovely little gimmick for the main roster. In NXT, Demon Finn Balor is on some broken shit. Like, fantastic. But Demon Finn Balor in main roster is a fucking gimmick.
And
Demon Finn Balor used to be a goddamn surprise.
You realize the reason why
for the people.
The reason why is because Vince McMahon didn't know how to book the demon character, which is why
neither does
TKO.
TKO.
I was about to say, we think TKO will.
I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, you look at the Vince McMahon era, they did not know how to book this man. The fact that he was losing and they brought him out for a match with Baron Corbin for what I don't know. But the thing is, they took the longest it took the longest time for them to bring him back.
The only people that know how to book Demon Finn Balor are Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Let them two handle it. TKO. Handle the money.
Well,
Triple H is up here like this. Hey,
that's going to be a big hypothetical.
Demon Finn Balor, and they said,
cross that bridge when we
later.
come to it. What's we gonna speed run the next show.
All right, so yeah, definitely, because the next show it will happen a little bit earlier, which will be Great American Bash. This is the first PLE on the CW. It has a 6 o'clock start time, and Shawn Michaels announced today that this will be your opening match of Great American Bash. Tony D'Angelo is defending against Naraku.
So
Give me Tony D.
So,
you mean Naraku? What the fuck?
I'm gonna take.
I don't know.
I'll take Tony D.
I may be going with Naraku.
Based off NXT, I just feel like Naraku attacked him. So I feel like that's kind of like him getting the upper hand.
He did, yeah. He did do the fireball to the face.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I feel like Tony D is gonna get his get back. Maybe the feud continues, and then maybe he went to there. But I do think having Tony D carry that title a lot longer.
Is this their first match?
Yeah.
Oh, well then, yeah. If you want to stretch out a story, then that makes sense.
You're gonna have Shiloh Hill taking on Tristan Angels. They've been competing with the whole Mr. NXT and all of that stuff, so that's going down.
We got
since I blame all of this on Dizzle. I blame all of this on Lip Dizzle because he was preying on this group's downfall since their formation. So
but guess what?
Saquon Sugars is taking on Dion Lennox in a grudge match because he played on Dark State's downfall since the inception. And look what you didn't cause Dizzle.
I thought they were funny, man.
We couldn't even get a full year of this group.
Real. Saquon carried this group. He made this group actually entertaining and somewhat watchable.
We couldn't even get a year.
Saquon winning this match.
This match and the previous match.
The reason I think
like they were creative characters. But anyway.
The reason I say Saquon's gonna win this match because I think looking at this, right? Now you guys can chime in and let me know if I'm wrong. But I just feel Saquon's winning this match because I think Shawn Michaels is gonna do what he wasn't able to do with Javon Evans, and that's potentially building NXT around
What?
Saquon Sugars because he is one of the top acts.
What?
And I think with him
Nah.
not being able to do that with Javon, he's going to try to make up for that by doing it with Saquon Sugars. I think he wins this match. Maybe he goes after the NXT championship at some point. If Naraku wins, I think you build up Saquon to be the one to take the title from him.
That's
But we all agree that Naraku's probably not going to win.
That's an interesting take.
Down the line, though.
Interesting
Down
take.
the line. Maybe Saquon wins Iron Survivor, and that's how you get to that.
The
Also-
best thing Dark State did was have a nice shirt. That's about
I'm
it.
gonna start muting you when it comes to Dark State. Miles Bourne is defending his North American Championship against Tavion Heights, pretty much his former stablemate in the NQCC.
Miles Bourne all day.
And
Again.
now let's get to the lady side of things. We're going to have for the NXT Women's Speed Championship, Ren Sinclair defending against Ariana Grace of Birthright.
Ariana.
It's a nice smile.
Yeah, because that way,
It's a
you
nice
know.
smile.
Hey,
I
sir,
think Ariana will win.
sir. Zarya is defending her women's North American Championship against Tatum Paxley.
Ooh, Viking versus Goth.
Zarya's winning. She just won the belt. If you have her lose,
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
be
she
so
just won it.
irritated. After a month and with her not
And-
winning it, come on.
Yeah.
Your main event for the Great American Bash, you're going to have one Lola Vice defending her NXT Women's Championship against Kendall Gray. And I'm telling you, though I am in this hotel, I will flip this couch because I know Kendall Gray is going to win this fucking title. I'm flipping
What?
something in this room.
What?
I'm
There's a
flipping
caveat.
something in this room.
Because I do have Kendall Gray winning. But something is telling me the reason why they have this as the main event because something really big is going to happen. And I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it. Lola Vice might turn heel and potentially retain. Now, would that be stupid? Absolutely. I think Kendall Gray wins. Maybe Lola Vice turns heel afterwards. Maybe you could tell the story one more time. Then you
I'm
probably send
flipping.
Lola up to the main roster.
I'm flipping something in this room.
I think Lola
Kendall Gray
retains,
winning.
bro.
Should win. But the question is, who do you
Yes.
build up after that? Because you have people that should be built up, but they're not. Jada Parker
Oh.
should be here,
Oh,
and she's not.
well, they're gonna start building up.
Jada Parker should be somewhere.
They're gonna start building up your evolve people and some of your coming like Kylie Armstrongs and
Like Nikita
things of
Lyons.
that nature. Nikita Lyons. Well, actually,
Please.
she just became women's.
please.
She just became the Evolve Women's Champion. She beat Wendy Chu. So
Who?
maybe, yeah, Nikita. She beat Wendy Chu last night for the Evolve Women's
Man.
Championship. So
Let me
we-
tell you right
you
now,
know,
her injury really set her back, but Nikita Lyons
Well,
needs to
I
get
think
back
going
up there.
Evolve has allowed her to really show that she can be a potential in the
so-
future. Because I think a lot of people only looked at her as just being eye candy, and I think going to Evolve and really showing that she could be more than just eye candy, that she can actually go in the ring, and she's putting in the time and the effort to really, perfect her craft is really paying off. And now she's showing that she can be a potential champion. You take this, you
Yeah.
run with it in Evolve, you bring her back to NXT, repackage her, and you actually go all in with her. You put her through the NXT division, you have her go to the North American title, and have her potentially win the NXT championship. And then from there, maybe go to the main roster. We'll see.
All right, and before we get to the AEW side of things, some major quick hits that happened on Raw. This is not a AI image. That is one Lyra Valkyria hitting the Nightwing on Bailey. They lost a tag team championship match, and Lyra kind of snapped and just started beating the shit out of Bailey. And it was
It's
like, yeah,
I'm happy.
but hey,
Not Mama
It's happy,
Bailey.
I'm happy for her. I'm happy
Yeah.
for Lyra, but it's like, am I the only one that's not following this trend? Every time there's a person that's about to
Oh,
turn
no.
heel, they always are the ones that end up getting pinned. Why are the people
Yeah.
that's always getting pinned turning? Rhea Ripley did it. Lyra did it. What is
I
going
guess it's just the
on here?
frustration.
Why did it-
Dizzle,
Yo,
I'm gonna get your opinion on this one. So we know Chad Gable has been doing his apology tour and making amends. This Monday, he called out the Alpha Academy, and all seemed well. But then Maxine Dupree was like, "Nah, fuck all of that. Fuck all that apology. Fuck all that bullshit. Nah, Chad. Nah. So what were your thoughts?
Was he apologizing
on
for?
that? Pretty
For
much.
hurting
Okay.
Everything.
Okay. So
I'm sorry. All right, sorry. Give me a little backstory before we get to Liv
pretty
Taylor.
much the last 2 years. Remember,
He's been
Alpha
grinding
Academy
Americano,
was
yes.
well, no. So remember, Alpha Academy was originally Chad Gable and Otis.
Right.
Right.
They were tag
And
champions.
remember, they brought in Maxine and they brought in Tozawa. And when they wasn't cutting it, remember, Chad Gable left them high and dry for the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile. Then when Penta came in, and Penta, he started having issues with Lucha. That's when, due to which they did kind of bring it up. It was Dominic Mysterio that recommended that Chad Gable, did what he did. But, he became Grande Americano. And now he's pretty much apologizing and trying to make amends for all of it.
Yeah.
And
He's apologizing for being a luchador?
a dick. Just pretty much a dick.
Yeah,
For disrespecting the luchadors.
He apologized about everything that happened, because you remember his whole goal was to win an Intercontinental Championship, and he was so desperate to win that he sacrificed his friendship with all of them. He talked down.
Yes.
He literally had and I'm not even trying to say this to be, quote unquote freaky, but this happened. Chad Gable had Maxine Dupree on all fours on live television.
Yep, and she brought that
literally
up
on
too.
all fours. Literally. And she
brought
said,
that
you
up.
know
I mean, what a callback to a Vince McMahon era.
She literally threw shots at Chad Gable because she said, I won the Intercontinental Championship. You didn't.
Yep. And this is a question I'm gonna ask Dizzle, because Dizzle tends to be the biggest Gable supporter in the group. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this direction that they going with Gable about, the apology tours and all of this? Like, fresh off of the Grande Americano, this is what they're doing with Gable at the moment.
It makes sense. Honestly, it's the best way to go about it with his storyline as far as the continuation to leaving the continuity, because you're tying up loose ends, and at the same time you're not leaving them high and dry, because a lot of criticism was that what were they going to do after the Mascara contra Mascara match that they had, and nobody wants to see
that bilingual.
Yeah, you know what it is. Nobody wants to see Gable shafted. So if you're not going to automatically put him in a position where he's either going to be in some type of prominence, whether win a title or just be in the main event, whatever, then tying up loose ends and taking on the backstory that everything led up to this point is the best way to go as a bridge before you initially start to give him the push. Because I do believe that he's going to win the Intercontinental Championship. Now, everything with Fine Ass Maxine is you're integrating the whole thing with the Vision into this. Yes. Which also adds to that, which I'm pretty sure Gable is going to, in the midst of all this, with this whole bridge to him getting to some level of prominence, you get him feuding with the Vision, one of the prominent stables on the brand. And then in between all of that, you put a title on him. So
so let me ask you this. From what's happening with Chad Gable right now, what is the window? What is the window for pulling the trigger on Chad Gable's popularity right now?
Intercontinental Championship winner at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to say SummerSlam, because as much as I would like to see him get the Money in the Bank, it doesn't suit him. It absolutely goes to somebody else, whether it be LA Knight or
Finn, Dominic,
or Finn. Oh, shit, Finn would be Dominic would be good too. But
y'all gotta chill with that Finn train.
Oh, you ain't gonna hear the end of it with me.
But yeah, as far as Gable, and the only reason I'm saying Intercontinental Championship and not a World Championship is because they're making such a big deal about him not winning a single championship, that your only route at this point is to give him a mid-card title to then work his way up. Because I do see Gable being a world champion down the line, but I think what they're going to do for him is do it the traditional way, where
Organically,
Okay.
yeah, where they do put a mid card title on him, and then he makes the most out of that opportunity, and then ends up winning the big one at some point. So I honestly, I give it next year. I think Gable wins the world championship next year.
Yeah, maybe you could put him in a position to be King Gable next year. Maybe if
Okay.
the booking goes
Yeah.
well, you can do that.
That
But
would
I
be
do
good.
think, as far as this goes, Maxine's going to turn on Gable, and I think she's going to join the Vision. I even said maybe she could even join the Vision as early as this Saturday if you really wanted to be honest. And she ends up joining the Vision. But I could see her playing the long game as she tries to gain the favor of Chad Gable, only to turn on him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right, and before we move on to the main, let's say the last segment, I would be remiss not to mention it. Let's be slightly respectful. TNA Slammiversary is happening Saturday as well. I think their pay-per-view is starting at like 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
I think it's on like 3 p.m.
Well,
So
3
Slammiversary is going down. I know I know that there's going to be a 3-team ladder match: the Hardys, the Righteous, and the System. Ultimate X. Legging Lee is taking on Zaya Brookside. Mustafa Ali in an open challenge. Ricky Sosa, Eric Young, Mike Santana, and I'm about to say his original name. Mike Santana and Nick Nemeth for the TNA Championship. That's why I meant to say Nick Nemeth, not Mike. Nick Nemeth. Sorry. Eddie Edwards and Moose. The Elegant brand is taking on Rosemary and Allie. So yeah, all of that is going down Saturday before AEW and NXT. And Sunday night we have Forbidden Door. And I'm gonna get these quick bars off before we start rounding off these matches. AEW needs to like retool this pay-per-view. They need to retool the fundamentals of this pay-per-view altogether, and I'm gonna tell you why. Jaeger, I don't know how much you've been keeping up with New Japan as of late, but
as of late, not as much, admittedly.
What made Forbidden Door special originally was because, and IWC, you can hate me for this take, I don't care. What made Forbidden Door special originally was half of those fucking people wasn't either in AEW or WWE. Not to be disrespectful to anybody in Stardom or anybody in New Japan, but who in New Japan is like, oh my God, we want to see them have a dream match with insert person here? If you're looking at most of the fucking matches now, Zack Sabre Jr. and Shooter are the only ones, and I forgot, in Unbound Co. are the only ones representing New Japan.
Yep. Everyone else is representing CMLL or something like that.
Because all of the people that made New Japan such this, oh my God, we want dream matches, are now in fucking AEW.
I'll even do you one better. I'll admit. No, I'll admit, I'll do you one better. We've seen, if you watch New Japan and the G1 Classic, you've seen Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kenny Omega.
Yep.
See? There you go.
Numerous times.
There you go.
It's like if you've seen one of them, you've seen them all.
No, hold on a second. Like, to be fair, there is a lot that, right? It's a long form Rumble, is what I'll say for the American fans of what New Japan's G1 Classic is.
Yeah, I watched it. I know about the G1, but
No, I'm saying this for the IWC that might not know too much about New Japan. But like, yes, they wrestled their fucking ass off in the G1. But at the same time, grudge match for a pay-per-view, I think they're gonna pull out a little something extra. I am excited to see this.
Yeah.
But the fact that we only have 2 matches
But yeah, you know what?
From-
Let's go ahead and run them down.
But I do have gripes about this show, to be fair. And it's
What's up?
because I do have my gripes about this show.
Oh, okay.
First and foremost is just like the Forbidden Door aspect. It doesn't really feel important because it used to be a
They should retool it.
it used to be a thing where it's like you would look at these shows and it's like, okay, maybe a New Japan star could win this match or they can go over. A lot of the times they're not taking risk and having the New Japan stars go over. They usually have the AEW wrestlers go over time and time again, which kills the overall excitement for what Forbidden Door is. And I still stand by what I say. Forbidden Door is this generation's bragging rights. Literally, I will stand by that. Forbidden Door is this generation's bragging rights. If you guys don't know what bragging rights is, go watch 2010's bragging rights. You will see why. They didn't have people go over like that.
You know what? I even update your reference even more. Forbidden Door is starting to turn into what Survivor Series is started turning into.
Oh,
Survivor Series has lost the point of what Survivor Series was a long time ago.
Yeah,
oh
with the
my
top
god.
five,
Attitude era, business
SmackDown.
aggression era.
I think the last good Survivor Series to me, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Survivor Series 2019.
Yes.
I like the best one. Best one.
Yes, it was. Yes, it
That was
was.
a really good Survivor
Yes, it
Series.
was.
And I don't know why they gave up the concept. You could have continued it and still been doing it. I'm not saying we have to. I'm not saying
I can tell you why they gave
War
it
Games.
concept. No, that's why they took War Games from NXT. So of course they took any new toy. So abandon what Survivor Series is.
But here's the thing, though,
because we got this shiny new toy now in War Games.
and that's the thing. War Games is not a bad thing. It's in how they implement it. They usually do these stories that we've been telling for years or the course of the entire year. If we want to do War Games, that's fine. But why can't we just use War Games to be Raw versus SmackDown in War Games? At least you're still doing War Games, but you're still at least you're kind of combining that. You're combining War Games, but you're combining what Survivor Series has been known for. Raw versus SmackDown. You do Raw versus SmackDown. And also, on top of that, there needs to be consequences and implications on these matches. A great concept that they can use to implement to make Survivor Series a little bit more entertaining and as far as the fans going into it, a little bit more investing our time into it, if they add a little bit more oomph to it. And what I say by that is, what if they did something like this? Survivor Series, the winning team of Survivor Series gets the last 5 entrants in the Royal Rumble match. And if you're the losing team, you're the first 5 entrants. Now that adds a little bit more of intrigue going into these matches because now there's consequences that are coming out of this.
Hey, what's funny about that? You know who had that same idea?
Who?
Xavier Woods, and we see where he's at.
Guantanamo Bay.
They didn't even dignify Kofi and Austin Creed dignity to keep them in the company. So that lets you know where the creativity goes. But back to Forbidden Door, your buy-in match so far. Divine Dominion, Megan Bain, Lena Cross are defending their tag team championships against Thunder Rosa and Olympia. You're gonna have Copen Cage defending their tag team championships against the Dog, David Finlay and Clark Connors. Hey, all I'm saying is this. As a whole, I'm not familiar with the 3 like that, but god damn, the Dogs are really, really lacking without Gabe Kidd. They are really struggling without Gabe Kidd.
The entire show is predictable. That's another thing. A lot of these matches, we know who's winning.
You're gonna have the Young Buck. Any thoughts on the Copen Cage and the Dogs before I move on?
I would say Cage and Cope probably retain. Because I think the bigger story is doing Cage and Cope versus the Young Bucks probably at All In.
You're gonna have the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson taking on El Sky Team, Mystico and Mascara Dorada versus the Unbound Co of Shingo Tagaki, Teton. So, and once again, that's just a triple threat tag team match just for reasons, because you're gonna have AEW versus CMLL versus New Japan. Yay. Moxley is taking on Bandito for the Continental Championship. That may be a sleeper match, by the way.
It would have been a little bit
I
better.
mean, if you're a fan of tag team matches, that triple threat tag match might be it. Like that could be your sleeper.
It could be. It could be.
So, Jaeger, I may need you to explain this next one. Shota is taking on Pac. And why is Pac denying Shota to be a Death Rider?
Because Shooter, aka Shota, was Mox's original apprentice. And well, Shota's been staying in New Japan and making it big there. He hasn't really been too Death Rider affiliated.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like he's pretty much been like, where you been?
Okay.
Like we've been putting in work over here. What have you been doing? Have you been repping us?
Gotcha. Okay. And for your AEW Women's Championship, the Toxic Spider Tekla is taking on Starlight Kid, which that may be another sleeper match. For the Women's Owen Hart Cup Finals, the CEO, Mercedes Moné, is taking on the unlikely challenger of Maya World.
I love
let y'all speak.
To be fair, she deserves to be in a spot like this. I mean, I've seen some of the stuff that she's been able to do, like in Indies, for a while, so I know how good she can be. I really would hope that Maya World could get the shocking win and go on All In, but I do think Mercedes probably gonna win this because I'm just thinking of All In being like their biggest show of the year or one of the biggest shows of the year. They're probably gonna want the match that's gonna fill in, that's gonna get most people to tune in. They're gonna want the match that's gonna sell tickets because they're already struggling to sell tickets as it is. They're gonna want the match that's gonna put butts in seats, and that's Mercedes Moné winning to face Tekla.
So, Jaeger or Dizzle, I'm gonna throw this question to one of y'all because our original episode was booking the women's division of AEW. So I'm gonna ask this question: how, other than for the championship, how do we legitimately book Mercedes Moné versus Tekla? If everything works the way it works, Tekla's walking in as champion, Mercedes. How do we legitimately book Mercedes versus Tekla at All In? Considering they're both heels.
You could run the angle of Mercedes wanting to get her belts back or getting some belts back, start up a collection again.
Or just the fact that she's just been eluded that world title.
Exactly.
Yeah, has been eluded that title, yeah, for sure.
All right, I see the.
You could see Tekla wanting to challenge the prestige of Mercedes Moné.
I see the brain over there formulating with Dizzle. What you got, Dizzle?
You don't have Mercedes win the Owen.
Oh, so you have Maya.
You have Maya win. She gets the rub, but she doesn't go to All In.
So she wins.
Do you see that possibility?
Because the thing is, and it's with the initial response everybody had. Nobody sees Maya World being a credible person to put butts in seats. So what do? You give Maya the rub because again they talk about how Maya World is the protege of Mercedes. So you have her win because Mercedes has already won the Owen. So you have Maya World win, and you have them start to build. But in order for them to not make it a heel versus heel, in the process, you turn Mercedes face by having Maya World be the person that they're building up, and then her had that level of compassion for her quote unquote protege. Because again, you got the damn, what the fuck is their stable name? Triangle Madness. There we go.
Triangle Madness.
Yeah. You have them do their dastardly shit. Have them take out Maya World, and then you have Mercedes take her place, and then you start to build there from All In. And then you start to go ahead and build the fact that, yeah, she hasn't won the championship, that she wants that. Now, being the fact that she now has a reason to not only go against Tekla, but now she has another reason to be able to be finally the AEW Women's Champion.
Do you
So
think,
everybody wins.
could this be
All-
as simple as making it a
all-
triple threat match?
No.
No.
It wouldn't work the same. Only because Maya World isn't a big enough name at this point.
I'll say, you know what, I might fast track this. I'll say the Triangle of Madness starts beating on her after this match ends. Mercedes
turn her
even potentially looks no. Mercedes goes face.
So they turn her face because they beat on her after she wins. I just don't.
I think you see Mercedes break that shit up, even though she loses.
It's just her winning this 2 times in a row. That's my only thing with that. That's why I do like Lip Dizzle's idea. Because I think originally they were going to have Toni Storm be in this spot to face for the title, but then she got injured, so they had to pivot. I think we were going to see potentially Willow Nightingale in this spot. She probably would have won. But then when they have both of them gone, they had to kind of pivot again. Who is the next biggest star? They'd call her Mercedes. I don't know why Britt Baker couldn't have been in this, but that's either here or there.
None of us know. Hey, Britt, if you ever see this, we need you back. Like, straight up, in my opinion. I don't know if y'all feel that way, but I feel
But if you really wanted to,
Thank you.
and this goes back to Lip Dizzle's point, the whole story that they could build with Maya World winning this, and if she goes on to face Tekla 1-on-1, you already have everybody, doubting her, betting against her. You could build a true underdog story to where she's one of those women that people are just counting out. It said she doesn't even have to stand a chance. So you could build a narrative where people are betting against her, and you can have a true David versus Goliath type storyline where she's the underdog fighting from underneath, scratching and clawing to really prove that not only she deserves to be in AEW, but she can be the top woman in that company too. Because she's already beat Athena. So if she were to lose this, you could maybe build Maya World to go after the Ring of Honor championship and beating Athena for that, if you really wanted to. But I don't think they would. But at the very least, we should establish Maya World.
I mean,
they could.
Her winning she could be the one to dethrone Athena.
Well, I mean, to that point,
Billy Starks.
they could take the whole thing with Maya World all the way to All In and have her go against Tekla. If you want to build a longer story with the whole Mercedes turning, if you don't want to turn her face that fast, then you could do the whole thing of taking a chance on Maya World going up against Tekla, because again, you're not building for a main event, for them, because that main event is designated at this point for Ospreay and Max.
Yeah.
So it's an easy input to go ahead and pull the trigger on an experiment with taking Maya World going up against Tekla. So that's the possibility there, because what's the next big pay-per-view for AEW after All In?
You got all Out afterwards.
All Out.
Yeah.
Okay.
After that, you probably got Wrestle Dream, and then Full Gear, then World's End. That's I think that's your schedule.
So then you can immediately pivot to an All Out at that point, and then you can have Mercedes then win that championship. So because it will feed to the underdog story.
Their next pay-per-view is a new one that they have next month called Redemption. Yeah.
Now what?
AEW Redemption is going to be in Montreal.
What are they redeeming?
Canada. I don't know.
What are they redeeming?
I guess we're going to see.
I guess you got to find out with the results of this pay-per-view.
Exactly. But speaking of results, Kenny Omega is taking on Zack Sabre Jr. of TMDK, aka the Mighty Don't Kneel, for those that don't know. And the match I'm looking forward to the most, Worthy Ospreay taking on Swerve Strickland. Yes, the Swerve Strickland that you see in that beautiful intro when you watch the video. That's Swerve Strickland.
Absolutely.
that is the match that I am looking forward to the most at this pay-per-view. And I'm telling y'all this. If you did not watch Dynamite yesterday and see it in real time, Will Ospreay gave an all-time moment in the Death Riders huddle. When he tripped over that tub,
Bro, that was
and
funny,
fell,
bro.
oh my! The beauty of it is Claudio, Pac, they all quickly left.
Yeah.
Marina helped them up. And then, of course, Daniel Garcia being an asshole friend who goes stare at you. So that now he stared at Ospreay. They start to laugh, and I'm like, cameraman, you supposed to been cut. You supposed to been.
You're supposed to cut before they even left.
He was back there. Wasn't he there?
You supposed to been cut.
My thing wasn't Moxley there when this happened?
Yeah, he was. Because they all dipped out so quick.
he said something. He nudged something to Ospreay and then walked off.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But boy, and then Ospreay being the person he is later on that night when he took on he did make a joke about him stumbling. I really forgot who Ospreay fought. But then he stumbled and to kind of make fun of himself. But I was like, that was an all-time moment. And all I could think to myself is Claudio is like, we ain't never inviting him in the circle no more.
Yeah, he can't be part of this huddle.
He can't be part of the huddle no more. And for your main, Ospreay and Swerve thoughts before we get to the main event match.
Ospreay's winning this. I got Ospreay winning.
Yeah, that's pretty much the consensus. It's William Ospreay taking it.
He's bound for all.
I'll be shocked if Swerve, they pulled like a Swerve, no pun intended, and had Swerve win.
Huh.
I'll be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Okay. This is the only way, and once again, it's going to tie into the name. The only way I see it, but then would they let that happen to Swerve twice? Is if Swerve wins and Ospreay was like, put the championship match on the line, and then Ospreay get his quote unquote redemption, and then he gets his match at Wembley. But then that'll be the second time Swerve will lose a title match, title match chance like that. So I don't know, but once again, I think Ospreay is going to just take it.
Yeah.
And your most just wildest clusterfuck of a main event, a 12-man steel cage match. You have Team Briscoe, which is going to consist of Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Roddy Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, aka the Conglomeration, along with Takeshita and Darby Allin, taking on Team DC MJF, which is, of course, MJF, Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher,
MJF family,
Jake Doyle, Okada, and Andrade El Idolo. Now, the caveat is, if Team Briscoe wins, Briscoe earns an AEW championship match. That's a lot to get a man a title match.
I mean,
yes.
Is it really? But I can see what they're going. We talked about that. I think we touched on this about like last week, how the fact that the heel team already won. So I would think the baby faces will win this, and then we could get Mark Briscoe, MJF for the title at Redemption. I'm pretty sure that would probably be the main event for Redemption. So
I think there's a possibility that they're using the animosity between Andrade and MJF to cover for the fact that Andrade wants to fucking fight MJF and will make sure that MJF stays a champion until he gets that chance.
I mean, they got to somewhat of a little shoving match yesterday until, they had to fight alongside each other.
But wouldn't it make sense?
True.
Don't we have a Grand Slam coming up, or Grand Slam already happened?
No, there's a Grand Slam Mexico coming up.
Yeah.
Okay. So my thought process is we could get Mark Briscoe and MJF at Redemption, and at that Grand Slam show in Mexico, we could do Andrade and MJF. That's what I'm
Grand
thinking.
Slam. Grand Slam. Oh, well, Grand Slam Australia already happened, but Grand Slam Mexico. Hold on, let me see when it's supposed to be. But I mean, that would actually make sense for him to get that title match at Mexico.
Because we can be building good stories. We can build towards redemption, but like you said, we could get a little bit of interaction between MJF and Andrade, and we could still build towards that. Now, coming out of this, we have 2 stories for MJF. We already have the one for redemption with Mark Briscoe, but then we also have one for Andrade, and we could do that at Grand Slam.
It's going to be August 5th.
Yeah, I do also see that possibility in the world where Andrade just screws over the tag match and causes them to lose.
Mm-hmm.
If Andrade is gonna lose, I need it to be a dirty finish because I need to see Andrade start pulling some W's.
And the one thing that I can always appreciate, boy, Kevin Knight gonna throw his name in the hat for a title match, boy.
Oh, absolutely.
Kevin Knight gonna be like, hey, just let you know, after all this over with, I want that title match. He gonna throw his name in the hat, boy.
I don't think he's gonna get it though before Ospreay takes that belt off Max.
Nah, because Kevin Knight got a Darby Allin to worry about. So
exactly.
But yes, that is 4 PLEs, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend. Night of Champions Saturday, Slammiversary, then right around the same time, AEW and NXT. Yeah, it's a 4 PLE weekend. And you know, we got enough off of our chests this episode with some things. So with that being said, let me switch positions. Pause. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to Lip Dizzle because I'm gonna let him do that thing that he do oh so well for you, ladies and gentlemen.
You already know what it is. Whether you loved it, hated it, don't forget to rate it thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave all your comments, questions, concerns down below. Make sure you tag the notification bell, tag the like button, tag the subscribe button. Make sure, and this is a big make sure, you go out and you check out Juggs' channel. You go and check out Leo's channel. They are dropping bangers on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Their live streams are where it's at. So make sure you are there when they do that. So, of course, let me go ahead and warm up the wolf for the Too Sweet for the Bros and all of you watching all around the world. And a good old Too Sweet to the Bros with a good old bada 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 bam. And of course, until you see these handsome faces and hear these immaculate voices, we bid you all adieu. And until next time, you beautiful, 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 beautiful mother effers. Tag the fucking click. Out.
Dollars make a way to make a change. Gotta be insane to make them same mistakes again. So I'm switching lane to lane.